Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Everybody's nervous. That's what's happening now. And you know what happens when people get nervous? When the markets get nervous, gold and silver tend to react, especially gold here lately. That's what's going on now because of this meeting that's going to be occurring in Japan with U.S. and China meeting to discuss trade. We'll see what comes out of that. But the thing that's really interesting that's happening under the radar is platinum. Some very interesting news there, so we'll explore some of that here in this video. Yes, gold gains on U.S.-China trade jitters. This is from CNBC. Gold has edged up a bit on Friday, just a little bit, on doubts that the highly anticipated meeting between the U.S. and China would ease trade tensions, driving bullion to its best month in 3 years. Spot gold was up 0.3% earlier in the day at $1,413.67. It's since eased back, but gold has risen nearly 8.3% so far this month, on track for its biggest monthly percentage gain since June 2016. With nearly 1.2% gained so far this week, the metal is also set to post its sixth consecutive weekly rise. U.S. gold futures climbed 0.3% to $1,415.80. The White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to no preconditions for his high-stakes meeting with China's President Xi Jinping and has maintained his threat to impose new tariffs on Chinese goods. Doubts about the success of the meeting between the two leaders have been weighing on risky assets. That is positive for gold, said quantitative commodity research analyst Peter Fertig. The leaders of the group of 20 countries meet on Friday and Saturday in Osaka, Japan, with a meeting between President Trump and Xi scheduled for Saturday. So there's a lot of unknowns. The markets will be closed. So I think people were a bit nervous leading into this. There was some positivity and good vibes coming before this, and I think that's part of what caused some of the prices to subside a bit. The tensions weighed on equity markets, boosting the appeal of safe haven bullion. The dollar index declined 0.1% after coming close to a one-week high in a previous session, making bullion cheaper for buyers and other currencies. There have been signals from the recent Federal Open Market Committee on rate cuts. Real yields on government bonds have been falling, which is positive for precious metals along with the weakening U.S. dollar. The outlook for gold looks positive from the fundamental side, Fertig said. Gold prices have gained more than $80 in the last 2 weeks, especially on expectations that there will be at least a 0.25 percentage point reduction in July by the Fed. The sustained decline in rates is a key factor, particularly as the Fed shifts to a more dovish stance, UBS analysts said in a note, raising their 3-month price target to $1,430 from $1,380. Uncertainty around growth and trade risk suggests more strategic positions are likely to build. Meanwhile, holdings in SPR Gold Trust, the world's largest gold-backed exchange-traded fund, fell 0.3% to 795.8 tons on Thursday from Wednesday. However, holdings have still gained more than 7% this month. Silver inched down 0.1% to $15.24 per ounce, on track for its first monthly gain in 5. Palladium fell 0.9% at $15.37.20 an ounce. However, the auto catalyst metal has risen more than 16% so far this month. Its biggest monthly percentage gains since November of 2016, and platinum was up 0.3% to $815.32. Now, there's been some very interesting news with platinum here, and we'll touch on this in this article from Yahoo Finance. Let's see here. There's some, again, this talks about a lot of the same types of things with regards to the trade war and the unease and the tension there. But here, this is written a little bit later. Silver rose 0.3% to $15.30 an ounce. It's gained. But platinum gained more than 3% to $839.76. Its highest since May 16th. The surge in gold prices has caused traders to reassess the whole precious metal space, said Rob Lutz, chief investment officer at Cabot Wealth Management, adding that the growing demand for electric vehicles parts was also lifting platinum prices. So there you go. And that's just it. I covered a video about this, but most people are hearing, other news about electric vehicles can be bad for platinum and for palladium. But my thing is, and what I talked about in a prior video, is that they're saying that if the research, that the amount of platinum that would be needed or used and utilized in electric vehicles would probably be about the same as is used for catalytic converters. So the demand for platinum could continue to grow, and that's why I've been relatively bullish on platinum, and I made a couple of moves in that direction this year, kind of offsetting my gold goals. So I think it's something that is worth considering as a further diversification as a potential investment vehicle, because I do see platinum. It is obviously a precious metal. I call it the fringe precious metal in terms of it being a hedge, because it was really barely used as money, and it's become basically an investment precious metal. Very volatile. So let's take a look here at the markets here. We see gold has pulled back a little bit from its increases earlier today, so it's barely edged up a bit. Silver's up 6 cents. So at the end of the day here, with the markets kind of closing down here, silver has performed very well. In fact, let's kind of refresh this here. We can see the close here. We've got it. Silver is definitely there, up 6 cents. So it's staying above that $15 level mark. I believe that's right around the value of inflation now, which is the best we can hope for, and that's really doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Some people may say that gold might be overvalued right now in terms of being a hedge. Platinum is up 2.71%. Amazing. Up 22 bucks to $8.39. To me, it's the winner of the four precious metals here. It's the winner of the day because of what's talking about. So be on the lookout. We'll see what happens with platinum. For those who want to take a chance and a risk for diversification, platinum might be something to consider. In fact, I think Provident Metal has had a deal on a 10th ounce platinum piece for under $100. So something to consider there. Palladium fell a bit, and it's that very well may be, because I think platinum will probably be more valuable in use for electric vehicles than palladium. I didn't hear in the previous research that I've done and in video, there was not any talk of palladium being used in electric vehicles. I guess it could be, but not much movement there. Rhodium is up $160. It's the biggest mover percentage-wise, but you really can just scratch out rhodium because it's so far removed from the other precious metals. And obviously, it's very high. It's a very rare metal, and it's something to behold and to be fascinated with, but it's a very risky proposition at this point because it can just tank like it has before, or it could skyrocket like it has before. A very volatile metal there. There you have it. So we'll see how this all plays out. Most of us, we hold precious metals as a way to hedge ourselves and to protect ourselves. An insurance policy, it's a savings account. The intrinsic value of those metals is something that cannot be denied, and it's just fascinating to see, especially gold has moved itself up. The history behind them is kind of what has developed the emboldened power of the intrinsic value of them being utilized throughout history. And so it's something to consider. It's something I think that is good to diversify. And I believe in diversifying between gold and silver. I've encouraged my viewers to try to pick up more gold, especially if they've accumulated any amount of silver. And how much gold you should buy compared to your silver stack, well, it's really up to the individual. But it's something that it's something to consider. And if you want to make a riskier move and have the physical, platinum might be something to consider, especially with its move upward. Now, this is just one day of movement here. that could all happen, reverse its direction. These gains could completely disappear by Monday morning or Sunday night. So we'll see what happens, and go at your own risk. But be careful. Don't ever spend outside of your means in any kind of investment vehicle. Make sure you understand that the money you put in is money you can afford to lose. Buying gold and silver, you're going to lose a lot less. It's about preserving your wealth. So silver's been volatile enough that there's times where it's below that level of inflation, and obviously people who have bought high, silver, and they need to sell now, or they get frustrated with it. It's a tough time. It's tough to hang in there with silver in times like this, especially if you've bought it at $17 and up, and you've not seen it recoup those levels. It's very frustrating. But post your thoughts below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.